So I guess I want to talk about a question I get asked a lot, which is how I got into NYU and why I chose to pursue film scoring in New York. I guess I'll start from when I was in high school. I was looking around for things to do during the summer before my junior year, and I found this summer program that NYU had. It was the Summer Institute of Music Technology or something like that, and I think they have it every year. It's a 2-week-long program, so I decided to apply to that, and I got in, and every day they had guest speakers come in and talk to us, and one of them was this woman, I remember, who came in and talked to us and was talking about sound design or something like that. And I asked her a question, and it was about, do you think in the future people will be writing notes on paper to score films and stuff, something like that, something super random. And I'll never forget the answer she gave me. She said exactly this. She said, "Women don't write music for films." And I'll always remember that as the answer this woman gave me. And that just kind of struck me, that shut me up. I don't know if anyone really heard it in the room, but I was just yeah, okay, I guess. Women don't write music for films, and she was kind of right. There aren't, at that time, and still right now, a lot of women don't write music for feature films that are playing in movies. So I left that summer program thinking, well, I don't know if I'm gonna write music for movies, but I know I'm gonna write music. So yeah, after that, I finished high school, and while I was applying to schools, I didn't know if I wanted to do film music, but I knew I wanted to write music, so I applied places that for music composition that did have the option to do film music. So I did end up applying to NYU and a couple other places, and NYU was kind of my best option at the time. And the thing is, you do apply with, usually it's 3 to 5 pieces of music. You want to kind of think about what the school wants to see and the kind of music that they're going to expect you to write. And I have a feeling, knowing what I've learned about NYU and some other schools, they seeing that you know how to write music, actual notes, and because you're going to learn music theory and things like that. Still sometimes I talk to prospective students, so I have heard that they'll look at your musical ability before they look at some of the other things like test scores and grades and ACT, SAT scores. So your musical ability needs to be really not just professional, but you need to show that you know where middle C is, things like that. Lead sheets are good, but show that you know how to write music, and maybe some minimal orchestration skills are good. So yeah, I applied to NYU, got in, and then after my first or second year at NYU, there was the announcement of this film scoring concentration for undergrads. There was a film scoring program for graduate students, and they were kind of extending that into an undergraduate concentration. So instead of certain electives, all the elective kind of classes would be film scoring classes. So I decided that would be a good path for me, and I decided to do that. That's what I decided to do, and it turned out to be probably one of the best decisions for my education, or for my musical education, that I did, because it was all the things that I probably would have taken anyways for my electives in college. And then along with that, I decided to take on a minor, which was the Business, Entertainment, and Media Technology minor, which is the entertainment business minor that NYU has. So I took classes in the business school and Tisch, which is like the art school. For some reason, like the music school is like separate from the art school, which is where like all the acting and film and that sort of thing happens in NYU. But I did end up taking classes there. Mostly I chose producing classes because in film, knowing what the producer does is pretty important. And in the business school, I also I took like entertainment law and some other like businessy, I don't remember exactly what it was, but it ended up being a good like supplement to everything else I was taking music-wise. So yeah, I did that. And then why I ended up staying at NYU. So I knew I wanted to keep learning by the time like my senior year came around. I felt like there was still a lot of things on the technical side of music production that I hadn't really gotten like down pat yet. So I decided like my senior year to start applying to grad schools. And I was offered acceptance to 2 schools, one of them being NYU and one of them being one of the West Coast schools. And just in terms of like timing of the acceptance and where I was in my life at the moment, I ended up choosing NYU again. I think it worked out in the best way for me, at least. I'm learning exactly what I wanted to be learning. I don't think I would have had exactly the same like continuation of, or the same level of music production education that I wanted at the other school. I'm learning what I need to know to be a professional film composer in today's industry, so I think it really worked out for me personally, but that may not be the path for everyone, especially, and it really may not be the path for anyone really, because as far as I know, I'm the first person to have gone from this particular concentration at NYU to the master's program, because there's a lot of overlap with the classes. But I do think that this is what's setting me up for success personally, because I've already had the chance to score a lot of short films with a lot of local filmmakers in New York, and I have a lot of credits to my name already. Not a lot, but a decent amount just from this past year, and I feel like I'm already on a decent trajectory for my own career, and I feel confident that every day I'm getting a little bit closer to figuring out how to just do this. So that's just my take on going to NYU for film scoring and how I did it. Let me know if you have any questions, write down a comment below, and yeah, let me know if you have any ideas for what I should make my next video about. Thanks!